Hey everybody, it's Bus, continuing our playthrough of the Path of Champions. Today, we're going to be taking on the 1.5-star quest, the Saltwater Scourge. We're going to be doing battle up against Gangplank and using our 1-star Teemo. So if you haven't been following along with our video series, we have our Teemo up to 1 star. Whenever you attack, you plant 5 puff caps onto the opposing deck. And then the big combo we're looking to really build around with our Teemo is starting him up with the Lost Chapter. So we play Teemo on turn 1. We get the 3 spell mana out of the Lost Chapter, and then we can use that to either play a spell on turn 2 that we generated with the Conchologist, or to kill off a unit with the Sump Fumes, protect our Teemo with Stress Defense, whatever. We're looking to have access to that 3 spell mana very early in the game. And so, that's our deck, that's our loadout, that's what we'll be doing battle with today. Let's head on into battle against Gangplank. There we go. 11 clicks that time, I counted. We got in there, though. the game within the game, the meta game as they call it, is figuring out how to actually get the adventure started. So cool, what do we have here? Reasonable collection of abilities. In my sights is okay. Give the weakest enemy vulnerable this round. It's not super strong in a deck like this. We would prefer to be with a more combat-oriented set of champion, but disarmed is quite strong, where enemies have -1 attack. So, welcome to the club. Head on to the Jagged Taskmaster. So, when the foe attacks, grant their 1-cost units +1 attack. But they're already disarmed, yo. That +1 attack is going to be negated right from the start. So, reasonable enough set of units. We'll keep the Teemo, we'll keep the Puff Cap Pup. Keeps us a good turn 1, turn 2 curve. Mulligan everything else away to look for one of those interactive spells. Here's everything we're looking for out of this deck. The Teemo, the Conchologist, the Puff Cap Pup. Looking quite strong. Let's go ahead and get that Teemo flipped here on the first turn. Second turn. First attack. Guess we could have done this the other way. Gotten a few more puff caps in there doubled up. I don't think it's gonna matter. But you know, in the pursuit of perfection, you could have gone about it that way. What you got, Conchologist? Take the Piltover Peacemaker. You say we got all the traps today. The flashbang traps. The puff cap caps, all looking good. All right, we'll fix it this time. We'll get it in our brain piece. The Teemo should be on the right. GG. We did it together. Feels good. Okay, so our post-battle spoils. Not the strongest. I mean, this is all very expensive. Why not go with the Treasured Trash? This is a reasonable, expensive card. And so from this point forward, we just need like a little bit of interactivity, and then we just want everything else to be cheap. And so we don't really want any more cards that cost more than 3 mana. And so Zed, the perfect addition here. Deathmark is going to be horrible in our deck, but the Zed stuff is very cheap. Otherwise, like, what are we going to be doing here? I guess we could take Kaisa. The Voidling is cheap. The Payday is here. We have some early game ways to get those stats, right? Teemo has Elusive. Puff Cap Pup has Quick Attack. I don't really like any of these. Let's just get this out of here. How about this set? Always love a Darius. The Legion Grenadier, Death's Hand are cheap. Irelia, it's going to be kind of tough to get Irelia going. I like to envision using Vanguard's Edges to get our Teemo attacking multiple times, but that's not a real strategy. Let's just pick up Darius down here at the end. Not so much interested in Darius as much as those the 2-cost card and the 2-cost unit and the 3-cost spell. So from this set, we have a gold chest, a healer, or a shop. It's a little bit early to be going to the shop, so I want to go to the healer so we can cut one of the expensive cards out of our deck. So it doesn't matter who we battle here, either Kato or the Jagged Butcher. And let's just go ahead and go to the Jagged Butcher. I feel like with our -1 attack thing, it should be pretty tough for our opponent to hit Plunders. And so we can maybe just shut down all of their abilities. All right, so I'll hang on to our fresh Legion Grenadier. Let's make sure we have something to play early. Try and find Teemo with all of our other mulligans. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He most certainly got those plunders early. This did not go how I expected. Whoops. It's okay to make a little whoopsies every once in a while. We'll just take the damage from the Jagged Butcher. I don't suspect we'll be taking too much damage the rest of the way. So we'll start blocking him after this turn.
There was a little fella asking for me. Victory at any cost.
Why are your units so big, bro? We've got the -1 attack thing. I thought this was gonna be so easy. All right, well, I'll block. He doesn't have the plunder this turn, right? He's been dealing damage to us on our turn. So the stress defense should still let us like block either of his units and then keep any of his future units this turn from getting the level ups. You're doing the work, Legion Grenadier. I didn't expect putting stress defense on Legion Grenadier as a potential landing spot on our bingo board today, but it made it. It made the cut. All right, so we get a good hook with the Sump Fumes. Or the good hook with the Lecturing Yordle. We have the upgraded Sump Fumes this turn, but I want to get good use out of our Dart. We have enough blockers to shut down what he's doing. And so as long as this game progresses, then we should be okay to close it out. He's almost out of cards at this point. So I feel pretty safe in that sense.
I've memorized all the Vandal Scout rules.
We kill this thing before it attacks? Sure can. Opponent doesn't make a scout attack because our unit's too big. It looks good. He's down to 1 unit. We have 4 cards in hand. We're pretty well set here. We might take 2 or 3 more damage from this, incidentally from this ability, but at the end of the game, this one should be, end of the day, this one should be done. Oh, Darius. Darius is ready to party. Nice. Get in there and blast him, dude. Guns blazing. Nice work. I didn't think that was on the menu today, so kind of surprising. And man, that feels good. What do we got here? All the Nox and friends turning up. Let's go with the Sump Fumes. Getting it to start in our opening hand is a pretty good item. Into the healer. We're going to cut something expensive. We got plenty of health at this point. So it's either going to be the Yordle or the Chumpwump, and I usually like to just hang on to the Chumpwump. The Lecturing Yordle, though, does have Challenger now. This is the first round to where he starts with the item, and so I'm going to hang on to that interactivity and then just cut the 4/4 out of our deck. So here, Solitary Monk, Shop, or Spells Chest. Solitary Monk is another cut a card location. So I'm usually pretty on board with going with that. I like to cut this expensive stuff out of our deck. So game start, the foe creates a Legion Marauder in hand. We have plenty of ways to answer a Legion Marauder, right? We got all those Death's Hands. We have all those Sump Fumes. He shouldn't be giving us too much trouble in these battles. Get all of that out of here. Found our friend Teemo. There he is. I was gonna say, man, he doesn't want to come to the party today, but he finally made an appearance. All right, looking good. If he's just gonna drop a Legion Marauder, feel pretty good about the turn. I'm not like super familiar with this deck. I don't know if he's going to be able to play combat tricks here, but It's not the end of the world if he does. If he has to spend 3 mana on a Sharpened Resolve to stop this, then feels like a win. All right, guns blazing. Almost lethal. Ah, that's the worst kind. Maybe he'll attack and we'll get the kill with our Legion Grenadier, but digging for a way to get a kill this turn. Opponent disagrees. All right. Lame. Well, that should be enough to do it. GG. We did it together. It's the best way to do it. All right, so Trifarian Hopeful looking pretty good here. He's going to come down for free, give us that spell, give us that mana back as soon as we casting. No complaints there. Right on theme with what we're trying to do. Into the Solitary Monk lets us cut a card. I like to hang on to the Ava Achiever, looking to just get rid of the Lecturing Yordle, but I kind of like the Yordle now. He's kind of interactive. He generates those poison darts. I think I'm looking to cut out the Puffcap Peddler now. It's not a real strong source of Puffcaps. Now we can take out Stress Defense. We're pretty lean and trim now. I like it. We had Stress Defense cut. Now we should be getting those turn 1 Teemos, right? We cut 6 cards out of our deck. We only have like 9 cards in our deck now. I did the mathematics. I counted it up. We've only got like 9. 20. That's pretty close. Okay, so we'll add the Trifarian for free. It's a little sad that we're not going to have that Trifarian unit on the board at the beginning of the game, but it's not a big loss. Now see if we can't get a good spell. Quicken is okay. The Disintegrate does give us a way to like take down Swain, but I think the game will be over before Swain is like a real problem. We can just come in and block him early and not have too many worries. Yeah, so good stuff. Nice little tempo play coming at him. And he attacks. Wow. That's bold. So now we'll come into turn 4. We can add 2 dudes to the board, and then so close to lethal. Going to be getting those flipped Teemo hits in this round. A little bit of combat damage. Wow, you're not going to have a blocker? So you need to add a blocker, my friend. So we'll be a little bit short on the lethal, but we're about to load him up full of puff caps. Oh, that's... I appreciate not targeting Teemo. That was very generous. Thank you, Swain. Only 2. Going to attack. We got this Legion Grenadier ready to do that final hit of damage. There it is. Lethal. Nice. All right, so what do we get to add? We're definitely taking the Teemo. The draw a card is fine, I guess. Nothing wrong with playing a turn 1 thing, drawing a card, getting 3 spell mana back. into the powers. You play a slow spell, copy it. This is always one of the more powerful powers in the game. I don't think we've got any slow spells in our deck, though. We can generate them off of the Lecturing Yordle. I mean, I guess you can count Treasured Trash, but filling your hand with random cards doesn't really lend to copying itself. I mean, we have the Conchologist to potentially generate something. I don't think Slow But Steady's on the menu. So let's pick up the Quick Draw. That does play nicely with a lot of what we have going on. So make all of those cards cheaper. Now we're definitely going to take this path leading up to the champion item chest. Most certainly don't need to cut cards at this point, right? We've cut 4 cards out of our deck, and so not a big urgency to go there. So when one of the foe's units strikes for 5 damage, grant it +2/+1. What do we got? There's the Teemo and the Conchologist. Get rid of the Sump Fumes because we're guaranteed to draw it. It's going to be a nice little start. All right. So I had refill mana equal to my cost, so it's not like we play the Trifarian and they get extra mana back. That's too bad. That's too bad. Let's just make him big next round. Well, I guess we've already got the spell for Conchologist. We can add the Legion Grenadier in.
Sharpen the blade, secure the kill.
Who's gonna get in my way?
All right, here comes the damage. Treasured Trash coming in for 9. That's legitimate, right? All right, so do we want to open attack here? It will be for 8, 10 damage. To just pick up this 2 mana Sump Fumes. I think we'll add in units here. What does Mimic do? Pick a spell in play or in hand and create a fleeting copy. We'll just go with the burn spell. Like, I feel like he's gonna play a dude. Oh man, we're not gonna get the Sump Fumes it. F. It's been a long time since we've seen dudes like Basilisk Rider. without Expedition around anymore, this guy just doesn't really have a home. It's sad. All right, but pretty strong board. We'll probably lose the Teemo if he's going to play a challenger, but we shouldn't be taking any more damage this game. Get him for 10. Little 10-piece nugget coming at you. Nice. Good stuff. So what do we got? Oh, just straight up more Teemos? I dig it. That's a nice addition for the post-battle spoils onto the champion item chest. Now it's you know, we already have one, I guess. I was going to say, I forgot we already had one of these draw things when you play Teemo, because it's kind of important to not go overboard with this Teemo stack, because his flip is terrible, right? We're not really excited about flipping into Mushroom Clouds. Ooh, this is new. I've never noticed the puff cap on the on the list of cards, but with him drawing stuff now, I think we're okay to just get locked and loaded and pick up every Teemo we see. So for the powers, spell cost 1 less, beautiful. These other cards, more Conchologist, beautiful. Stack them in. Anything else good here? The Station Archivist is always interesting. Just I'm not sure we'll really have the mana to pop off with this, but having a 4/5 Archivist get the free spell thing sounds pretty good. I'm on board. Alright, let's leave. What do we have here? Salvage? Don't remember this one. Let me pull it up on the site. Okay, so we are just on the ftpbus.com site. If you go up to the utilities thing up at the top right and click on events, events are the exclamation points. And so the salvage, it lets you take as many cards as you want, but each card costs 1 health. So either that or a shop. We just spent all of our mana, so let's go up towards the salvage. All right, round start, deal 1 to all units, and then grant the foe's units +1 health. Let's see how many Teemos we throw away, because we forget about this ability. I bet it's quite a few. Well, we got a Teemo, we got some Conchologists, we'll lose those to the same problem. Let's see what happens. It's pretty okay to throw these Teemos away. We're going to draw like infinite cards off of these. So I feel pretty safe dropping Teemo. As long as we have one more in hand, we shouldn't really be hurting. We're going to overdraw a ton this round. We got to make sure we aren't going to deck ourselves. I guess that's important as well. If we're out here playing Teemos that draw 2 cards, we might need to be just a little bit careful in the sense that if we add Teemo to the board, we might want to have some more in hand so that we can shuffle them back into our deck.
Let us take a peek at life beneath the waves.
All right, just want to play as much stuff as we can. We're gonna add Teemo next turn and get the mana right back. All right, well, here's Teemo. He'll flip now, so he's able to survive that ability. He won't be around for our next attack, but there's a pretty decent chance that we just draw more Teemos by then. So who else do we have? We can add in the Conchologist. Ravenous Flock seems okay. We don't have a lot of just like high damage stuff in our hand. Now we can play the Sump Fumes and deal 3 to a unit. We're going to follow that up with the Flash of Brilliance. That's going to give us that 1 spell mana that we're now missing. Didn't pick up anything we could play, but that was the idea with the majority of that turn. All right. Get in there, squad. All right, they probably just want to be adding blockers here. We've run out of spells to play, so throw the Teemo down. He's just going to die at the start of our next turn. Add these Legion Grenadiers in. See if we can't get up to that lethal this turn.
What do you want?
Nothing's more exciting than an unfruitful
No spells?
spring.
No spells in the deck? Ah, lame.
I've embarrassed fools twice your size. War teaches us all. Every scar a lesson.
All right, well, he's got 39 puff caps and 18 cards. Probably not getting the lethal this round, but 4 damage isn't impossible. There's the Teemo.
Wouldn't you know it, I picked the wrong mushrooms.
Reporting in.
So interrupted.
Well, a very uneventful turn. Maybe we can close this down next round. Not gonna play any of these.
Calling card from our other case.
This dude's all die. Our battle step is upon us. I'll just get him with the puff caps. Rip. Okay. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for Gangplank. Get this battle started. What do we got here? Sumptium summoning Poros, not real excited about. I'm just going to pick up the Clump of Wumps with the Tough. Adding those Puff Caps to our hand will be reasonable. They're going to cost 0, so that's kind of nice. What's Recursion? Copy the next spell you play this round onto the same targets. I've never seen that before. And it's only going to cost 1. Okay, let's pick up a couple copies. Oh, we only get one shot. These are kind of interesting. Buried in the Ice is pretty strong. Let's just pick up 1. I don't feel like we need any of this stuff, so we can reroll. Don't need any of this stuff. Sandstorm is quite strong, but I don't feel like we really need it. Acceleration Gate, though. That's going to be the last one. I'm calling it a day there. We don't really need any of that stuff, but let's just be safe. And on to Gangplank. Gangplank can be pretty scary, right? At the round start, the foe summons the powder keg, sure, but then the first time the foe starts the round with less than 15 health, they create the Dreadway in hand. And so if he's... Oh, it's not as scary as it used to be, right? I think the weekly quest had the different Gangplank in it to where it just summons, right? When they put the Dreadway in their hand, you just don't care about it because the game doesn't go that far. All right, Teemo win.
The dead don't need riches.
Gonna start dropping these mushroom clouds. I want to hang on to the sump fumes. They can get some like fairly scary powder kegs early, and so if we can kind of counterspell like an early big powder keg hit with a removal spell, a little bit safer. We're gonna lose our Teemo, but we can protect our Grenadier. I want our other Teemo back now. we shouldn't have played that Mushroom Cloud. I think we're okay, though. We're just going to get him with this monstrous acceleration gate. Buried in the Ice, always fun. We got to do it. Look at this. Look at this. You play the Recursion, and then that's basically just a free Mushroom Cloud. Ooh, who's excited for that? Who's excited for that? No one? Well, I thought it was pretty cool. F you, buddy. Okay. Get the powder kegs one way or another. So with this turn, like, we'll have to see what turns up. It's Teemo, so that solves a lot of our problems. So as I'm going to say, I'd really like to roll into this next turn and then be able to play Buried in the Ice. Now, it's a little awkward because he's out of mana and he's just going to... Oh, shit. He's not going to attack. It's like now we just get to Buried in the Ice and blow up the squad, follow up with the Acceleration Gate. Like, that should be enough to end the game. But I wanted this Buried in the Ice for our next turn. So we can add the Clump. The Trifarian Hopeful is free, so we can add him. Now we can add the Acceleration Gate. Looks pretty good. Coming in for 28, so probably not gonna lethal. But we should get him, like, really close, especially when we get this doubled up set of puff caps into the opposing deck. He's going to be at 3. He's going to be drawing that Dreadway he can't play, but he's pretty close to lethal tonight with the 64 puff caps. We're pretty close to getting a kill. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That could have been a problem. But we drew the Death's Hand to get ourselves out of this. Look at this 9 damage powder keg. Oof, that's scary. That's how you lose that one. But we got it at the end of the day. GG Gangplank, loads of fun. And so, not a bad set of battles. You know, we really got to kind of tie in with that one and show a lot of the theme here in having these really high-powered Teemos and getting these spells going. We had a reasonable amount of top end, and we got to take those middling cards out of our deck. I will say, I think we probably went a little bit too far in terms of cutting the cards. Like, I don't like having all of the lecturing Yordles and the Ava Achievers and the 4/4s and stuff, but it's definitely good to get some of them out. I think we went a little bit overboard in this one, and we could have chosen our paths a little bit more wisely, but that's, you know, kind of the general theme we're trying to pull off here, though, right? Really have this high-powered Teemo and then do some real curve management so that we aren't having these mulligans to where we just have like 3 and 4 4-cost units in our hand and we don't have enough stuff to add to the board. But nonetheless, victory was ours. I had fun. I hope you had fun too, because that is going to do it for us today. And so hope everyone enjoyed the video. Hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.